Bunny, 100 goals for Manchester City. Incredible achievement. How does it feel?
Feels good, to be fair. When I just joined the club, I just wanted to help the team as much as possible. So to be able to hit this milestone, yeah, it's a wonderful feeling.
This is your 5th season at Manchester City now, and you've broke so many records along the way. Would you have envisioned when you signed for the club that this was how it was going to be?
No, for me, it's just that, like, my friends always tell me that sometimes I tend to focus too much on the next thing, that I don't actually sit back and look at whatever I've achieved in the past is always, okay, that game's done, I have to do this, the next one. So I think, yeah, when I came here, my ultimate goal was just to help the team as much as possible in whatever way. To be here to say that, you know, I've broken a lot of records, it's a good feeling.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, I was a striker back in the day myself, and I know how difficult it is to score goals, but the numbers that you get is incredible. I just think, and the amount of achievements that you've picked up along the way, you know, back-to-back golden boots. I actually read something about you the other day, and it said that you didn't realise last year that you was even up for leading goal scorer, and I'm like, how? You strike me as someone that knows every single tally. And
because I was so gutted last year that I was out for the season with my injury. So I'm just like, okay, like my goal was just getting back healthy, and then the last game I was out on the pitch, and I think Hempo got most assists, and I was like, come on, bro, yeah, and then I heard my name, and I'm looking around like, wait, did I? Because I know this was like, what, February? The last thing I knew I was on 12, and
wow.
I was just like, there's absolutely no way this is true. So then I looked at Chidi, and Chidi gave me a thumbs up, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna take it. Hello.
But now that you've got that record of back-to-back leading goal scorers, are you going for it this year? Is it something you focus on at the beginning of the season, that I want to be there at the end of the season, or does it just happen progressively? I
think it happens progressively because I set goals for each game. So I'm like, okay, in this game, how can I affect this game? What do I need to do? And I'm one that I actually watch back myself and see how best I can improve. And sometimes I may even score a hat trick, and then I'm like, okay, but that one that I missed hurt me so bad compared to all the 3 that I scored. It could be a really good goal that I scored, but if I miss a goal that I think I should have scored, it affects me really bad. So I tend to just always look at that and see how best I can improve. And sometimes I don't score, but in the games that I don't score, am I affecting the defenders? Am I affecting the back line? So I think just by doing that and focusing on those things, helping the team, the goals come as the goal come. One by one, they all add up at the end of the season. So I think that's just how I focus on it.
That's what I was going to say to you as well, like going into the game. Is your mindset purely, how can I score a goal today? Like, is it frustrating if you come off the pitch and you haven't scored? Or is it, okay, the team's done well, what can I do next game better?
Nah, yeah. I think for me, it's always like, I go in every game want to score, because at the end of the day, I'm a striker and a team look for the strikers to score goals, but sometimes it's just not going to happen. You're not going to score in every game. But I think I have games where I score and I'm not happy. And I have games where I don't score, but I'm really happy because one, the team has won the game, and that's the most important thing for me. But I think in that game, the goals, probably the space that I thought I had, I don't have it, but the other players around me have it. So I think I just tend to just look at my overall performance and see if I gave my best today, and if I gave my best, how much I can improve and get better.
You've also had a lot of hat-tricks. I think you're top actually in the WSL, just beating Viv, your teammate. So when you're on the pitch and you've scored 2 goals, are you going, you know, I want that hat trick? You're not getting subbed off at that moment. No, as a striker, you don't want that.
You're up 2. Especially if you get them early in the game, you're like, okay, there's a high chance that I could get another one. And when I get another opportunity, I have to score. And I think also that, like, I think for me, the players that I have around me, we create high standard for each other. For example, a Hempo, I've been playing with Hempo for a while. If Hempo put a bad cross in, she's gonna hear from me. And if she puts a good cross in and I don't score, I'm gonna hear from her. So I think just having that standard definitely helps me as well, to know that, okay, be ready for when these balls come in, because if I don't score, I'm not gonna hear the end of it. So I think just keeps me on my toes as well and keeps me sharp.
On that note, where are the hat-trick balls? Do you keep them? Do you still keep them as tradition? No?
They're actually at home, you know.
Yeah.
They're actually at home. Some of them are soft now because it's it's been a while. But yeah, I actually have them at home.
I used to give mine. Well, I only had about 3 in my career, but I give them to the next door neighbour, the little boy. So don't know where they are now. But yeah, great to keep. I mean, when you look back at the end of your career and you can see all the stuff that you've won.
You know what's funny? So my mom recently went back to Jamaica, so all the balls was in the bag that I wanted to give her. So I'm like, okay, Mom, hold that bag, and I throw all the balls. And I was just throwing, and she was like, oh my God, how many balls do you have? And that's when I realized that, oh wow, like I've actually scored a lot of hat tricks.
Incredible, isn't it? Imagine having that feeling, just packing them all away.
Here's Buddy Shaw, who's on for the hat trick. Buddy Shaw into the penalty area. What a chance and what a goal for Buddy Shaw. A hat-trick for Buddy Shaw.
Is there any key moments that stand out on your journey so far with Manchester City, whether it be one of your best goals or trophies, or what's been your standout?
I'll probably say my first year. I think my first 5-6 months was very difficult because I'm coming from a team in France that there was just freedom. You just play, you just enjoy the game. And when you come into a system that's very detailed and very structured, where you have to be in certain positions at certain times, I found it very, very difficult. And I remember Raheem was here at the time, and I remember I called him and I said, I think I made one of the worst decisions of coming here because I am struggling. I used to cry because I'm like, I cannot get this right. Like sometimes I should be able to show for the ball and I'm running away. So I was all over the place. And then I was walking back one day and Lucy ran up to me and she was like, hey, is everything okay? And I'm like playing it off like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, what we on? And she was like, you don't seem happy. And I'm like, and then that moment I told her, I said, I don't think the system is suiting me. Like, it's not working. It's too rigid and we're just all stuck in places and I don't know where to go. And she was just like, I played against you in France. Just play your game. Like, yes, I understand that it's a system, but when you get the ball, just go and do your thing. And then Christmas hit, went back home, spoke to Raheem again. He just told me that, look, like, and he gave me an experience when he left from Liverpool, came here, it was difficult for him as well. And he gave me a few pointers and then January hit. And I was just like, you know what, like, I have nothing to lose. It's my first year. I'm just going to play and I'm just going to enjoy it. And then started feeling a lot better. And then we won the County Cup that year. And then from that moment on, I felt the difference. Like, you know what, I'm just going to play my game. Of course, I'm going to follow certain instructions, but when I'm in certain moments, I'm just going to do what got me here. And I think from that moment, I'll definitely say winning that trophy and in the second season, I just crack on from then. So I remember that moment very, very vividly. I can
so resonate with every single word you've just said because I went from Everton to Manchester City. I was actually a number 9 throughout my career, but I also played on the left a lot. And I actually think that's why I wasn't City's number 9, because people away from football sometimes don't realise the amount of discipline that goes into being the number 9 at someone like Manchester City. For me, I was the number 9 at Barcelona when I left Manchester City, and it's obviously a similar philosophy, structured, it's very disciplined in what you do. And I was the same, I cried for 6 months because you're so isolated, you're not bringing, I'm thinking, why have they signed me? I'm not even touching the ball, I'm getting limited opportunities, like it's so frustrating, so I can totally understand that. But then when you look at where you are now, have you had to adapt? Is it a case of managers have seen your strengths and tried to incorporate that a little bit more? Has it been a bit of both?
I think at the end of the season, I had a conversation with guys at the time and I'm like, why am I here? Like, why am I here? And obviously he gave all the reason why he thinks that, like, I'll be good for the future. It's my first year. I'm too hard on myself. And I explained to him, I said, like, for me, I love crosses. That's my thing. I love when the ball's coming in the box, and it was just not happening. And I think sometimes I drop too deep, the cross come in, I'm not there, I'm late, and I'm just like, this ain't for me. And then I think I spent extra time off the pitch, and I did a lot with Lauren Hem, trying to know where she's gonna cross and certain movements and stuff. And then I think just them extra bits after training helped, because when we arrive in the game, I know I could close my eyes and play with Hempo now because we've spent so much time together. And I think like that too, having relationships with the players definitely helped. But yeah, having a conversation with guys and explaining, him telling me why he brought me in, and I'm telling him, if you want to get the best out of me, these are some of the things that I really think I'm good at.
And this is what we've got, 100 goals later. Yeah. How much of an impact have your teammates had on you to get you to this achievement?
Oh my God.
And also not just your teammates, but I've also heard you speak in the past about Sean Gota, someone I also worked with when I first come to Manchester City, and it takes a lot of people around you at the club to help you. So how much of an impact have they had?
I think having the quality around me makes me look good. I always say that. Sometimes I just stand there and the ball just comes perfect and I just have to just move my head.
You're playing it down. I've seen some of your finishes.
No, yeah. I mean, some of them is difficult, but
I understand. The service.
Yeah, the services that I get, it's world class, if I'm being completely honest. And with Sean, you know what? He came around the team for a little bit, just a little bit, and then the next season, I think 2 years ago, he told me that he was gonna be full-time with us. And boy, when I tell you I spent time with Sean, like, amazing. I think he helped my game to improve. I was here and he brought me to the next level. Like, he made me see things that I never thought in my life. I'm just like, Sean, I don't think that's gonna work. And he's like, try it in practice. I promise you it's gonna work. I've been there before, Bunny, and I was like, okay, let me see. And then I would do it in training. And mind you, I'm going against Alex, which is one of the best defenders. So if I'm going with Alex and I'm getting by, surely when the games come, it will work. So I'm like, okay, Sean, I think this might work, and I'm gonna try it in a game. I said, if it works on Alex, then hello, it could work on anyone else, right? And then he's like, yeah, try it in a game. That was the year when I just kept on scoring. And I think Sean definitely elevated me as a striker from one level and brought me to the next.
Well, I'm going to say I am so glad that Sean's information reached you, because I've got a story about Sean. We was in Platt Lane, which was the training ground we used before we got this amazing facility. And Sean actually come up to me and they were crossing the ball into me, and Sean's like, I just want to tell you a couple of points. And I'm like, okay, Sean, like willing to listen, knew all about how amazing he was for Manchester City. And he's like, just watch the flight of the ball, like when it spins, like, and that's when you'd attack it. Bunny, that was wasted on me. I am the worst header in the game. So I am so glad that the information found you, because I mean, the impact that
initially when he used to, for example, he used to say, start behind. I'm not gonna say everything because that's my sauce, you know? Yeah. But he would tell me something and I'm like, Sean, that I don't know about that, you know? And he's like, okay, just listen to me and try. Now if Sean tells me to jump, I say, oh, hi. Because I've seen his points work in games, and certain movements you would tell me to do, I would just do it in games. Even if I don't score, it creates space for other players, and we'd laugh after the game like, that one, I told you about that one. But yeah, really good relationship with Sean.
How would you explain your style of play, Bunny, if you could, in a roundabout way? I know everyone knows you for your goals. I personally, when I watch you, analyse like your areas you're doing well. And for me, I think the work that you do off the ball is incredible. Like the press and the high press, that was more my game, a high press. So I appreciate that so much, the work that you do. I've seen it a lot this season also. But yeah, even you're just a nightmare for defenders. You are an absolute nightmare.
And I think for me, that's what I try to do in every game. I said, how can I make these defenders' life very difficult? That's when I go in every game. That's my goal. Like, how can I make this game absolutely a fight for them? Every game. Some games obviously are difficult depending on the team we play. Some teams drop back and there's no space in between, which space comes wide. When the ball goes wide, I know that, okay, you ain't gonna beat me in the air because this ball's gonna come in and I'm gonna beat you there. Ooh, you heard that? That's a rhyme there. But yeah, I think for me, when I go in each game, that's why I try to approach it. Like, how can I make you miserable?
I think it's very unique that you have so many attributes around your game that, you know, even you're saying you don't know what you're going to bring that game because it's what the game demands and what your coach says. And so how would defenders know? So they're thinking, is she going to go being behind? Is she going to be short? So yeah, I can see definitely why you're the defender's nightmare.
Bunny Shaw now up against Catley, lays it back to Benny, breaks for the substitute, who fires it in.
Is there any specific goals that stand out? I seen you on for against Liverpool last year.
I think that's one of the best goals I've scored.
Is it because it was outside the box?
No, I don't know. I think when the ball came in, I think the touch that I touched it between the defender and the ball just popped up, and I was never gonna pass that ball. The way it popped up, I'm just like, I'm gonna put my foot through this.
You caught it so sweet.
And as soon as it left my foot, I'm like, yeah, this is definitely going in. But I think that was one of my, if not the best goal I've scored.
It's Bunny Shaw.
Goodness me! The league's top scorer scores all kinds of goals. This is up there with the very best of them. Wow.
I also see when you say about crosses to the wide players as well, that you're saying you don't like them driven, you like them more lofted, because you know that you can beat these defenders. And for me, that is the 1% difference between, you know, like that detail and telling your players that information is just, that's what's going to make you score the goal or not score the goal. And you can see why you're in the box.
And also I think that like there's a mixture as well, because let's say a Mary, for example. Mary can do both. She's good on left and right. She can whip the ball in, she can float it. She's just an all-round very good player. But I think me communicating that to her based on what she's good at definitely helps as well. Yeah. Because what if she can't really float the ball, or what if she's better driven? Then I have to kind of adjust. So it's like we meet halfway. I love a floated cross. I just attack it, I think.
I'll have to watch it. I could have known all this information 10 years ago. Obviously, there's so many highs, but there's obviously a few setbacks along the way as well. How do you deal with, you say you had a big injury last year, frustrating. I know myself, when you're on the sidelines, you just want to be out there with the team. How do you deal with that mentally?
I know, you know, it was very difficult, like setbacks, or sometimes not just injuries and stuff, but stuff outside of football as well. It's very difficult. And mind you, like, I have family here, but my core family is back home in Jamaica. So like, I'm literally here sometimes just on my own. And I think it gets lonely and it gets dark, because you tend to think you have so many negative thoughts in your brain. And I think for me, having a psychologist definitely helped me throughout my injury for sure. We've had a lot of conversations. I remember the first time they said, Bonnie, I think you need to speak to someone. I said, nah, I'll be fine. Like, nah, I don't need to speak to anyone. And they're like, just first session. And I was just like, okay. And I just went in and I just stared, and he's there and I'm here. And I'm like, hello. And he was just like, hi, how are you? And I'm like, good. Our conversations were sharp and short, because I just didn't want to be there. And then I left, and then Emma, she said, how was it? And I said, I don't think I think I want to try again, because growing up and how I've been, I've never really like sat down and opened up to someone and explain and express, and it's always about just keeping it in, focus on the next thing, it's gonna be fine however you feel. And I think just by having the sessions, and after the second session I said, okay, I'm doing this 3 times. I'm just gonna tell you everything in 3 sessions. Help me out. So he's like, that's not how it works, Bunny. And then the 3rd session, he said to me, I think we're gonna have to do multiple sessions with you. And I was like, is it that bad? And he was like, I think that each time I speak to you, there's always something different. Because, and for me, it's just that I just speak. I went there and I just have the conversation like how we're having a conversation here. And before you know it, you don't think about it, but then you're like, wow, you leave that session like, I left a lot in there. Like, the burden feels less. I feel like I can speak to someone and express what I'm going through, and them helping to find ways to help me off the pitch, so that when I go on the pitch, I don't feel so clustered and so like heavy. And I think that's the biggest thing and the most important thing that I've always taken. Even in my best moments, I still speak to them, because that's the next thing. I felt better, and I was just like, okay, off you go. I'm back, I feel good, I feel better. But then I start to realize that that's not how it works. Sometimes in your good moments as well, you need to still express and let things off your chest. And I think having a psychologist definitely helped me throughout the difficult times with my injuries and stuff off it.
I think that's why we see the best of you on the pitch, Bunny, because you're really tapping into all these areas that help you be the player that you've been. And it's no surprise, you know, success doesn't just come overnight, and it doesn't just happen by chance. You know, you have to put in the work in all these areas. So there's great credit for you opening up about that and sharing that with us. So, Bunny, what is next? You are only 28.
More goals.
At Manchester City?
Achieve as much as I can with this wonderful club of mine. The sky is the limit, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds for not just me, but for this beautiful club.
100 more?
100 more is a push, but it's not impossible. But yeah, the more games I play, let's see how far I can get.
Well, you've set the bar now, Bunny, and you've been absolutely fantastic so far. It's been a pleasure to talk with you today, and I hope this continues. So good luck for the rest of the season and the rest of your time at Manchester City.
Thank you.
Miedemar, Shaw in the middle. First time ball in. Here is Buddy Shaw! And Buddy Shaw gets a goal! And it's a landmark goal for Buddy Shaw! Take a moment to enjoy this special landmark. Buddy Shaw is a Manchester City Centurion.